Luigi's Mansion Any Percent. It's a speedrun category where you move Luigi out of bounds, bypassing obstacles to go straight from the first boss to the end of the game. So why is there a video showing a mostly inbounds route that seems a lot crazier? Let's go back to December 2022. After the discovery of the Chauncey 1 cycle, people brought more attention to other possible ways to save time. A proposed method was being able to clip from just outside the safari room to inside the sealed room, skipping the need to walk on top of the roof to access it. It would be done by skewing off of one of these bats in the area, then performing similar inputs to how you would clip down to the basement hallway, just outside of the secret altar where King Boo resides. It was mentioned that this could save time for the 100% category, wherein you need to collect all the portrait ghosts, all the boos, and at least 100 million of the game's currency, which will grant you the highest rank in the game. In the sealed room, the main objective is a key which unlocks 2 rooms, one of which contains the optional portrait ghost Sue P. This was really the first documented instance of being able to perform a skew while inbound somewhat consistently. Things were looking hopeful for the category. But then, opportunity struck. So what did I decide to do about it?
Everybody do the flop!
Mouse skewing. It's a really weird phenomenon, as prior to the inbounds bat skew, it was generally thought that you can only skew off of bats while between floors. Doing a skew this traditional way is actually pretty easy when you get the hang of it. The mice, on the other hand, are very different creatures. For one thing, they crawl around constantly, occasionally being able to stop in place for just a second. Even though you can try to manipulate them into stopping by vacuuming without capturing them, there is an extremely tight window to input the proper C-stick direction. It does seem to matter at what angle you get hit, as it's possible to also get a completely backward skew. Doing this will unfortunately not lead to clipping through any walls, but getting an insane forward skew can help in that department. After getting the skew, the next logical step was to clip through a wall, which was promptly done. It seemed like the 90% category was that close to being broken, and I'll explain why. If it was possible to clip between floors in this area, you could open Neville's door, which is always unlocked, and from there you could proceed out of bounds as you would with any percent. It seems that after a ton of experimentation with different spots, there are only 3 possible outcomes in this hallway as of right now. You can clip down into the dining room, you can get stuck on the wall of the Area 2 hallway, and the most you can do with that is clip back into the dining room. And in the bottom left corner of the hallway you can clip in the butler's room, but you're stuck from a locked door and can only warp back to the foyer. At this point, out of ideas, it seemed like it was time to give up. But then a thought hit me. You can go from the dining room to the kitchen. The only things in the kitchen to get hit by would be the flying pans. The random gold mouse spawn won't help as you can't get hit by it, but there are mice that spawn here, and the PAL version's hidden mansion. The PAL version was the last release of the game being distributed in Europe and Oceania, and as such they had more time with this version to put everything in that they wanted. This includes flipping the mansion sideways, along with changing up the normal ghost spawns. So okay, you get to the mice in here and perform a skew off them. Where could you go from there? It just so happens that this bottom left corner of the room is a possible clip spot. But now there's another problem. He's stuck again. Lucky for us, the PAL version has a spot that spawns these exploding ghosts. Suck one up in your vacuum and he gets pushed out into the hallway. So far, we've skipped out on 3 portrait ghosts and the Area 1 key after Chauncey. We're in Area 2, but what now? Simple. Another mouse skew, and using the clipping method we can get right outside of the courtyard. But now there are no mice out here. At this point, the glitch hunters had to stop and think. Is it possible to just clip through any part of a wall? Perhaps while also being up against another object? The sad thing about this is that unfortunately, it seems that only certain corners can be clipped through, with one exception being that you can clip into the conservatory while wedged in between these plants. The runner Saria wrote down a list of all known possible spots to clip through with an inbound skew. Trying to cover all possibilities, runner Mini352 had hacked in a skewed angle while at the bottom of the well, and after some testing found that you can in fact clip into the secret altar. That's cool, but we need to get a skew done here first. Well, it was one night when both the guy that made the normal tool-assisted speedrun NEVERDOORS, along with myself, managed to get an insane skew down the well. How would it be done? Thanks to these little green flying ghosts, by standing on this concrete wall and then falling down the well while getting hit at just the right time, it's possible for Luigi to get an insane skew while falling down. It was also found that you could get a skew by falling down off the ramp onto the ground, however your angle would be quickly reset when moving towards certain spots. It's funny how this all came to be from some very random finds from multiple people. Before it was found that you could get a skew and bring it down the well, NEVERDOORS had made a LOTAD, which stands for a low optimization, tool assisted demonstration, which had an even more convoluted route that would eventually bring you out of bounds, like you would in normal any%. But it wasn't until this new LOTAD was created that everyone realized just how ridiculous this seemed. Would it be possible for people to do in real time? Considering that not only do you have to get this very tight situational skew 3 times, then praying that you get a skew while free falling, all while having very few attempts as you receive double damage in this version of the Hidden Mansion, it would take an asinine amount of time and patience to pull something like that off. But at the end of the day, we now have a pretty entertaining run to watch. Even though it's not done in real time by a human, the world of tool-assisted speedrunning can make even the most insane and nearly impossible ideas real. As a matter of fact, NEVERDOORS, also known as Taylor, made a newly updated test of the normal any% category, which includes new stuff such as the Chauncey 1 cycle and King Boo 1 cycle. If you want to check that out, the link to the runs and his YouTube channel will be in the description. I also want to give a quick shout out to Lunatic J, who recently released an any% world record history video, which I had a hand in helping with. Go check out his video, also in the description, if you want to learn how deep the rabbit hole for this category has gone. But with that being said, thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, take care and peace.